Okay, so I've pulled my fuse from here and I want to measure my current by using my meter here across where the fuse was. Now remember, we've checked to see that the fuse is rated for below our 10 amps. I can just use two spade connectors in where the fuse was. Now, if I'm unsure, because it's easy for us to see which way the polarity is for this, is coming from our 15 down here, it's going up through our switch and out, through our loads and out to earth. But if you're looking at a fuse box, you've no idea which way the polarity is. So what I can do as a check is, if I loop on my earth, my black com, and bring it to 31, bring it to an earth somewhere, right? Now remember, pull this out of here, because we want to change what we're going to do here. We're going to do a little bit of voltage chasing here now. So if I select volts, which is here on my meter, look for my volt jack here, get the wire back in the jack. Now I'm ready to go to look for voltage. I can go directly across to my 15 and see where I'm at. If I'm polarity correct, I should be a positive value here. Remember, in DC voltage, I can't have a minus value in DC, whether it's current or voltage. So it always has to be a positive value on this meter. Now, you can see here with my meter, I'm connecting to measure voltage in parallel with the meter, right? Or with the circuit. So I don't break into the circuit at all, I'm just connecting alongside it. For this one here, if I want to see which one is where the voltage is coming from, if I go across here, I have a millivolt rating here. So I know that side of the fuse board is dead. If I go here, I should get supply voltage. And again, I can see 13.8. So I know the voltage is coming from this side, going to that side and onto the circuit. So if I'm going to measure current now, again, pull your lead, select your current, look for your current jack, get your red lead back in there. I'm going to connect my meter to measure current in series. So red to where the current is coming from, and black to where it's going to. So again, my circuit lights up. And I can see what current is running through it. Again, 1.2 amps. Starting to fall slightly as the heat goes into the circuit, because remember the relationship between heat and resistance. As heat rises, resistance goes up. And then we look at the relationship between current and resistance. As resistance rises, current falls, or vice versa. As resistance falls, current rises. So the longer my circuit stays on, the more heat is going to be generated in it, which is going to rise up the resistance slightly and drop down the current slightly, right? Okay. So, if you don't have these little spade connectors here, what you can do on your car is if you grab your ordinary pike type connectors. So I have two crocodile clips that I'm using here just because it makes it easier for me. Let me grab a couple of pike wires. So remember, I'm going to measure voltage again now. So pull your red wire, look for your voltage on your dial. It's DC voltage, right? That's where we're going. Black is in COM, and that's where I'm going to leave it. my red wire now, which is going to be the red pike that I'm going to use. I'm going to look for my volt jack, and I can see here there's voltage listed there, so there's my jack for measuring voltage. I'm going to connect up my black to an earth somewhere, and I'm going to measure voltage now. If I go here from my 30, I should see supply voltage. Going to my 15, I should see supply voltage. Now, if you're at the stage where you're on a fuse box now, I don't know which side the voltage is coming in from, go pick one of them. Just put the pike into it, and I can see it's registering no voltage there. Go to the opposite side where I pulled the fuse out, and I can see supply voltage there. So I know that's where the voltage is coming from, and if that's where the voltage is coming from, that's where the current is going to come from, because the voltage pushes the current. It's the pressure behind the current that makes it flow. So I know it's going to come from here and go to there. So if I'm using my other pike lead now on my meter, pull out the black out of the COM, put the black COM pike lead in. I have my two leads now. I want to measure current, so pull your red lead, turn your dial to measure current, put your red wire into the current jack, meter's now set up. Remember to measure current, you connect the meter in series with the circuit, which means you make the current pass through this meter. It is no option but to go through it. And to get a positive value on it, to get a correct polarity, I put the red wire to where the current is coming from and the black to where it's going to. Now again, my circuit lights up. I'll just zoom back out there so you can see the circuit lighting up. Remember, red here, current's coming from there. Current's going to there, gives me positive value for my current that I'm reading. If I get it wrong, and I put my black to where the current is coming from, my red to where it's going to, you can see on the meter straight away I'm getting this negative value here, and I can't have a negative value with DC voltage or current. It doesn't happen. So I know my polarity, I'm connected right because the circuit's lit up, so I'm in series with the circuit. It's just I have the incorrect polarity. Pull the leads out, swap them around, and put them back in. Again, I get the same value, but now it's a positive value as opposed to a negative value. Okay, so what I want you to do is, if you can, pick a circuit like that you're going to test. Now remember, make sure the fuse rating is low. So you want to get something down around a 5 amp fuse maybe. For a sidelight circuit, but look up your auto data that you have access to. So look up your auto data for that circuit and make sure it's a sidelight circuit or something like that you're going to use. Make sure the fuse rating is 5 amp. Make sure you're in the right fuse. So again, for my fuse box here, and all fuse boxes that manufacturers do will be the same on this, it'll give you what fuse number it is and what the rating is. So fuse number 1 for me was a 3 amp fuse there, all the way up along here to fuse number 8, and you'll have all of those probably full on your own cars, but make sure you're on the right circuit. Make sure the fuse rating is below your 10 amp value of your meter, otherwise you will blow the fuse in your meter. And if you can record yourself doing it, talk through what you're doing, how you're doing it, and send it back to me just to confirm that you can do it correctly. And I'll, on that Google Classroom, we'll work from there, and we'll keep going with different videos as we're going along. Thank you.